I'm overwhelmed by my previous video and like the response. It's obviously nothing YouTube influencer levels, but the fact that someone gave a shit. So I don't have much time in my day. I'm a father of two. I work. I do side work. My wife works full time. Household responsibilities. I'm a union painter. I work in construction, so it's never close. It's always like an hour plus drive. Right now it's 5:50 in the morning. I'm hour 15 from home, but I got like 15 minutes to kill. So once again, I apologize for my hideous appearance. It's nothing I can do. I look like I smoke a pound of weed a day, but not just my eyes. They're squinty naturally. My ears, big as shit. They look like two ping pong paddles stuck in the side of a pumpkin. My teeth, looks like I brushed my teeth with dynamite. Chipped, gap, but this is me, man. It is what it is. This is what you get. So anyway, with that said, this video is gonna be a continuation to the first one about signs from another realm, God, the devil, just a whole bunch of paranormal type of stuff. I'm gonna try to keep it to like 15-minute mark. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I want to cram it all in. So anyway, let me just get right to it. So I told you in the first video that I played around with some dark stuff and I had an experience. You can watch the first video for that. It's only 15 minutes or so. I was playing around with some dark stuff. Now I think about it, I remember being a kid. We used to play with the Ouija board. And say what you want, I don't know why that's sold as a game. I believe you can invite spirits or whatever, demons, into your life with something like the Ouija board. I'm sure there's other ways of communicating with them, maybe a seance or whatever. But anyway, it's just a whole bunch of shit that just comes to mind, so I'm gonna be all over the place, so just bear with me. And again, it's also an exercise to see if I can just talk coherently and maybe capture someone's attention and I don't know, give someone something interesting to listen to for 15 minutes or so. So I remember one time I had this nightmare, right? It was so vivid. I remember seeing myself, this after playing with the Ouija board. I remember having this nightmare where I remember ripping people apart into pieces, just shredding them into pieces. It felt so real, right? I was like this demon, had claws, and I was just ripping people into pieces. I was on this bridge by my house, like on this main road, and I was just slashing people left and right, right? And if you watch the first video, like I said, I was a suburban kid into death metal and this and that. I still love that music and I still play it, but I was all in, like, with satanic shit and this and that, right? I thought it was cool. So this dream was so real. I remember going in the dream, walking in my own house and walking into the bathroom, right? I remember looking at the mirror and I saw myself. I was covered in gray fur and my eyes were completely black, big and black. Had horns. I remember waving my hand in front of my face like this. And I remember seeing claws and talons and just, it was, what would make my mind or my brain, where would that come from? Where would that imagery come from? Was it from a movie? No, I never seen something like that. What I think it was different dimension telling me, like I said, if you watch my first video, if you continue to go down the path you're going to, hell is real, or demons and shit are real. This is what you're going to be. You're going to be a demon. So that was just another thing. It was like a wake-up call. Again, this all makes sense if you watch the first video. So I feel like I had this dark energy around me, right? So with that said, you know, being into satanic shit, playing with the Ouija board, opening up a fucking portal perhaps, having these nightmares so vivid that I'll never forget that one in particular. There's a whole bunch of nightmares. Side note, if you got some kind of sick sense of humor, or you're into sick shit, take melatonin. I took melatonin for a little bit to help me sleep, and I had the most craziest nightmares ever. I don't know what it does, but no joke, the little gummy melatonins, take that shit. You'll have some bugged out nightmares, man. I took that shit like once or twice, and every time I took it, literally had craziest nightmares I ever had. Not as crazy as that one, but they were bad. There's always like someone dying and guts and shit. I don't know what it does, but it definitely does that, at least for me. So anyway, getting back on track. So my man calls me over one day, right? He says, "Hey, yo, I got this fish. I got a fish tank, man. I'm into fish tanks, aquariums and shit." He says, "Yo, I got this fish, man. You got to come see it. Got this big, I think it was a Jack Dempsey, like a cichlid or something. It was alive, fine all day, right? Yo, come see this fish." This is completely true. I walk upstairs into his room. The fish just dies. Floats to the top, dead. Right? No, like, oh, he's kind of breathing. He was fucking dead. I seen it. He's seen it. And he was bummed. He's like, what are the odds I walk in and this thing boop, was swimming, turned sideways, floated to the top, was dead. Straight up fucking dead. No questions asked about it. He was dead. So, I think my girlfriend, now my wife, was with me at the time. She didn't come up there to see the fish. Honestly, I don't remember if she was there with me or not. But there was other people there in the house. And the fish was fine. But coincidentally, when I went and saw the fish, it died, right? Mind you, what I said before, playing with the Ouija board, having these nightmares, this and that. I don't know if I had a psychic validate this to me once, but it's ringing a bell. This is going back at least 20 years. This is all real shit. That everything I say, I don't tell no lies. Not about this subject matter. I don't do it. And just in general, I try not to. I don't know if I had a psychic one time tell me, I seen them a couple of times, that I might have had something like attached to me, but that's ringing a bell for some reason, but I can't really pinpoint it. So I'm not going to say 100% sure, but I think I remember encountering someone that told me that some shit was attached to me. I think. So the fish dies, right? Shortly not too after, my friend dies that showed me that fish. So I made this post on Instagram. This is a post edit, by the way. I thought about this after. That's why it's kind of spliced in the middle. But I made this post on Instagram talking about my buddy. It basically said, never forget, the ones you lost. It was about my buddy Drew that I was telling you about. And I said, hey, man, I believe today's the anniversary of your passing. Me and him used to go fishing a lot. And I said, yo, if you could see this, give me a sign. Let me catch a bass the next time I go fishing. And as you could see, I went fishing the next day after that post, and I caught a bass on a hot dog. I don't know if you know anything about fishing, but bass is a fish that chases live prey. What are the odds? I never catch anything. What are the odds that I make that post and the next day I catch a bass on a damn hot dog? It's just too coincidental for me. I believe that was a sign. Now, it starts getting worse and worse. You could chalk it up as a coincidence, but there's two definite, and there might be a third occasion, not counting the fish and my buddy passing away, the one I told you about. He died. I'll show you. I'm gonna pause right here. He died in a motorcycle accident. He wasn't doing nothing crazy. His name was Drew Warden. I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna edit this video, post a little thing. All right. So he dies, motorcycle accident. He was my good friend, right? This now, that happened. I meet my one buddy, right? New subject. It's gonna tie into that shit, but I'm saying it's a completely different scenario. I meet my one buddy, right? He's about to go to jail. I didn't really ask him for what. I just remember he was going to jail. I come through. I meet his brother for the first time, right? He had a younger brother, right? First time I meet him. The following week or so, the dude ends up hanging himself. That's fucking crazy. I meet this dude for the first time. Hey, man, what's up? I'm Dan. I just shake his hand. The following week or so, 2 weeks at most, the dude kills himself. Fast forward sometime. Fast forward like maybe a couple of years. I meet this dude, right? Hang out with him once. I hang out with him once. Shortly after, he gets killed. Motorcycle accident. Again, you can chalk it up, whatever, but there's a pattern here. With the fish, I see this thing. It dies in front of me. I meet this one kid for the first time. He kills himself. I meet this other dude for the first time. He fucking dies shortly after. something in my gut is telling me there was a fucking third time, like a person aside from the fish, that this also had. I know you could say, oh, it's just life, people die, dude. That shit ain't right. It's a fucking sign. It's something, right? Something that was attached to me. I honestly believe that there's some kind of dark shit attached to me. So that's pretty much. I'm gonna cap that, right? My man's brother, who I met, a dude that hung himself, he just recently died. It could be his own choice. He messed around with drugs or whatever, but it's like all these people I encounter are fucking dead. So you could take watch my first video, because I believe in fucking signs and shit. I believe these are all signs that something fucking dark and demonic was attached to me. And I hope it's still not. I don't think it is. I think I've saved myself. I honestly believe in God, and I fight for his cause. I try to spread his word as much as I possibly can. So, getting back to signs, this is off subject, but just another thing. Might validate something, or might make you reconsider whatever. My mom, Dukes, right? She's disabled. She doesn't work. She stays at home. Never really goes anywhere. Really does nothing, you know? Not shitting on my own mom. Just saying, she just whatever. So one day she decides she asked me and my dad and my brother, oh, I'm thinking about taking a trip to Atlantic City. Should I go? I don't really feel like going, but there's something to do. Should I go? Like they got the for old people, the fucking bus that scoops them up from wherever, day trip. Yeah, Mom, go for it. Why not? She never goes anywhere, so this one time she goes. She has a massive fucking stroke. Thank God she went, because if this happened at home, no one would have found her, and she just would have been dead on the floor. So she went, right? She has this massive stroke. Right across the street was a hospital. It was like destiny, whatever. She remembers, I guess, being there, collapsing. Next thing you know, while she's out, seeing this white light, this warm, gentle feeling, she said, this voice. Do you wish to stay here, or do you want to go back? She says, no, I don't want to stay here. I want to see my kids. Wakes up in the hospital. It's my mom's story. So again, watch the first video. Watch this shit that I'm talking about. It all correlates. Two more examples really quick, because I'm about to start work in a minute. I remember my mom one time messing around with tarot cards and this and that. I remember my brother, this is all in the premise, I guess, of like signs and like spirituality and like communication with the other side, or a different realm, the fourth dimension, whatever. It's basically what this is about. That's what I'll entitle it, I guess. So my mom one time, my brother comes downstairs and says he has this dream that this giant fish was talking to him. My mom was into tarot cards and like dream interpretation and shit. She says, yo, stay home today. Stay home today. That's a sign. according to my book or whatever, it's a warning sign. Something bad is going to happen today. No, it's all right. I'm telling you, stay home. That day, he was playing soccer with my old man. They had just like a recreational league. He breaks his leg inward like that. He had a fucking dream. My mom interpreted it, saying, yo, stay home. Something bad is going to happen today. The dude breaks his fucking leg. And here's the finale. I'll leave this episode right here. I have this cousin, right? She's from England. She comes to America. She wants to go see the Twin Towers. My family takes her. I'm trying to think of where I'm gonna put this picture, but there's a lot of pictures I want to include in this episode. So she goes to New York City. They go to the Twin Towers, right? She comes home. The next day or so, I'm trying to remember if this will all make sense once I show you the stub. I'm going to put the ticket stub right here. So, you see what that fucking date is. I think it's, I'm just going to pre-guess. I think it was the 9th, September 9th, 2001. So the next day or so, or the morning of, I forget, she says to my mom, her aunt, she says in Polish, "Hey, ciocia, mi się śniło, że piorun uderzył takie dwa budynki I spadł do dołu." AK, translation, that's Polish, I'm Polish. She had a dream that lightning struck these buildings and they collapsed and fell. The next day, it was fucking 9/11. She had a fucking premonition of 9/11. So, to wrap all this shit up, what I'm trying to, I guess, convey is there is otherworldly or outer worldly force. I'm not sure what the fucking term is. I'm an idiot. I'm a painter. But there's some other shit out there. There's shit that occurs while you're sleeping. Spiritual world. Demons, all that shit, man. That shit exists. I see the general contractor thing pulling up right now. Work's about to get started. But follow God, follow the righteous path. Don't be influenced by evil and dark shit. Stay clear of that. And just keep fighting a good fight. I'm going to leave it at that. If you get anything from this, leave a comment, turn on a notification. I'm going to try to be more punctual with this shit. It's just tough to do. Obviously, it's basically just me venting when I can. And that's it, man. Let me know what you think. Everything I'll tell you is all real. And the more I think about it, I'll give you more examples. I got ghost stories. I got a UFO encounter I could talk about. I got buddies who've seen stuff. So if you like what you hear, I'll keep doing this, and I'll just let you know. And if you have anything you want to talk about, let me know. Peace.